is the word understanding? You got notes in the back of your folder, a lot of note paper. So turn there and find page 1 blank and just write the word understanding down. If you are watching, of course, on our pay-per-view, you got note paper in front of you. Please write that word, understanding. Everybody say understanding. Understanding is more important than knowledge. It's also more important than wisdom. These 3 words are used very often in God's communication with humans. He uses these 3 words together. He does that because the 3 words are related. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. You might want to write it down. You would remember that the wisest man that ever lived, according to history, was supposed to have been a king whose name was Solomon. And Solomon was asked by God one day a question I wish he would ask all of us. What do you want? Ask anything. What do you want? Of course, Solomon was not from the United States, because he would have given a capitalist answer. It's not from the Bahamas or the Caribbean. He would definitely broke God's bank. He's not from Italy. He would probably ask God to restore Rome. But Solomon asked God for 3 things: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. This week is about understanding. You will get knowledge, and that's important. As a matter of fact, let me give you the meaning of the 3 words very quickly. The first word, and I'm giving them in order of process. The first word is knowledge. Knowledge always comes first. What is knowledge? Right next to that word, information. Knowledge is information. The second word in the process is understanding. Understanding means comprehension. Write it down. Comprehension, to comprehend. The third word and last one in the process is wisdom. Wisdom is always last because wisdom means application. Application. So look at that list. You can see how the process works. First, you get information, but the information will never benefit you until you understand it. Once you understand it, now you can move to stage 3. You can apply it. The most critical part of the process is wisdom. Wisdom is supreme because you can have knowledge and understanding and still not apply it. It's like a smoking doctor. So the ultimate goal in life is wisdom. But the important goal in life is understanding. Many of you drive a car but don't know how it works. All you know is you turn the key in the ignition and it turns on. And when it doesn't turn on, you are lost. So you have knowledge of the fact that the car will start, but you don't understand how it works. So understanding destroys frustration. This seminar is about understanding so that you can gain wisdom. That means you can now apply. There is a statement made in the book of Matthew by Jesus Christ. I want us to turn to that statement first, if you have your Bible. I want you to see where he uses the word understanding in relationship to the revelation of the kingdom. Matthew chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13. You would remember this was a seminar he had after a question. And this seminar is a result of questions that people kept asking me. If you look at this chapter, you will see that he had a session with a large crowd of people in verse 1 and 2. A large crowd of people came, and he sat by the lake, and he began to teach them. The only problem is he taught them in what they call parabolic language. Parabolic language is a style of teaching where you hide truth from the listeners so that they can discover it when they are ready. Can I repeat that? A parable is a style of teaching where you use small stories that people can relate to. You always use symbols or items that people consider to be common, and you use them to tell a story. And the purpose for a parable is not to tell the truth, but to hide the truth. And you hide it because you are working with a principle that is based on a premise. Here's the premise. Nothing is yours until you discover it. That's the premise of the purpose of a parable. Let me repeat it. A parable is used based on the principle that nothing is yours until you discover it. So it doesn't matter how much information your teacher knows. That information can never be yours until you personally discover it. So a parable is designed to hide the truth until the listeners are ready to discover it. Okay. So he's using this style of language. And if you look at verse 10, his students, everybody say students. Now the word students is translated as disciples. So please write that down. Write the word disciple, and right next to it the word student. The word disciple is not a religious word. It's an academic word. It means learner or student, like you are. You are not normal people. You are not the multitudes. This is why you hide truth from multitudes. Because multitudes are not interested. They are only entertained. You paid a price to come here. That immediately separates you from the multitudes. Multitudes love free things. God never reveals the depth of his revelation to people who love free things. I remember a principle God gave one time to the prophet. He says, you will seek me. He says, but you'll find me only if you seek me with all of your mind. The word heart means mind. That means you concentrate to want to know. So these students, disciples, said to him, verse 10, they said, Master. Master is referring to teacher, master teacher. The word Rabboni means master teacher. A master teacher is one who is expert in a field of knowledge. Rabboni means master teacher, an expert in a field of knowledge.